When the Dodge Monaco first rolled onto American highways, it carried with it more than just the metallic scent of gasoline and chrome. It embodied an entire era of ambition, power, and changing cultural identity. Born from Chrysler's vision of creating a car that could rival the luxury of Cadillac and Lincoln while maintaining the raw performance that Dodge was known for, the Monaco quickly became a symbol of the 1970s American automotive spirit. Its long, imposing body and powerful V8 engine were not just mechanical features, they were statements of dominance, confidence, and craftsmanship. In the early 1970s, America was in the midst of transformation. The muscle car era was at its peak, yet the winds of change were already blowing through the industry. Emission regulations, oil crises, and economic instability would soon reshape the automotive landscape. But before that shift, cars like the Dodge Monaco ruled the asphalt with pride and thunderous authority. Introduced originally as a full-size luxury model in the mid-1960s, the Monaco evolved into a versatile car that blended comfort, style, and brute power. It was designed for the kind of driver who wanted the prestige of a big American sedan, but without the pretentiousness, something that looked as elegant parked in a suburban driveway as it did racing down Route 66. The Monaco's visual presence was unforgettable. Its design language spoke of the decade's fascination with size, proportion, and power. The front fascia featured a wide chrome grille that seemed to stretch endlessly across the car's face, flanked by dual headlamps that glowed like the eyes of a mechanical predator. The hood was long and muscular, flowing into a cabin with a sweeping roofline that emphasized motion even when the car was still. Every panel was sculpted to express strength and solidity, while still retaining a sense of aerodynamic grace. For many, the Monaco looked less like a car and more like an icon of cinematic Americana, a symbol of authority and freedom. Beneath its broad hood, the Monaco hid an array of powerful engines that reflected Dodge's commitment to performance. The standard models offered reliable V8s, such as the 318 cubic inch engine that balanced power and efficiency, while higher trims and police packages boasted the legendary 383 and 440 cubic inch engines, true monsters of the highway. The 440 Magnum, in particular, gave the Monaco astonishing acceleration for its size. With over 350 horsepower available at the touch of the throttle, it could surge forward with the kind of force that left competitors behind in a blur of chrome and dust. Drivers often described the sensation as commanding a living beast, one that responded instantly to the lightest press of the pedal. But what truly set the Monaco apart was its versatility. It wasn't just a performance machine, it was a car that could be everything to everyone. For the family man, it offered space, comfort, and the safety of a large, stable chassis. For the car enthusiast, it delivered the excitement of rear-wheel power and roaring acceleration. For the police departments across America, it became one of the most respected pursuit vehicles of its time, earning the reputation of being nearly unstoppable in high-speed chases. The Police Interceptor versions of the Monaco, equipped with reinforced suspensions, heavy-duty cooling systems, and tuned 440 engines, became legends in law enforcement circles. They could reach speeds that few other cars could match, making the Monaco the backbone of police fleets throughout the 1970s. The Monaco also captured Hollywood's imagination. Its appearance in films and television cemented its status as a cultural icon. Most famously, it starred in the 1980 cult classic The Blues Brothers, where a worn-out 1974 Dodge Monaco served as the Bluesmobile, a vehicle that seemed indestructible despite the chaos surrounding it. The film transformed the Monaco from a symbol of authority to one of rebellion, humor, and myth. To this day, car enthusiasts remember the sound of its engine roaring through the streets of Chicago, chased by dozens of police cars, crashing, jumping, and surviving every impossible stunt. The Bluesmobile became an emblem of endurance, proof that the Dodge Monaco was built to last, no matter the circumstances. Technically, the Monaco was a marvel of engineering for its time. Its unibody construction combined strength and lightness, while the torsion bar front suspension provided remarkable stability even at high speeds. The rear leaf springs absorbed road imperfections with surprising grace for a car of its size, offering passengers a smooth, confident ride. Inside, Dodge didn't compromise on luxury. Plush seating, wood grain trim, and advanced features such as power windows, air conditioning, and even optional cruise control made it a desirable car for long journeys. Everything about the interior felt substantial, the heavy doors closing with a solid thud, the steering wheel thick and responsive, the dashboard instruments glowing warmly at night. For many Americans, owning a Monaco was about more than transportation. It was about belonging to an era where cars were expressions of personality. The Monaco could be elegant in one moment and aggressive in the next. It was a car that turned heads at a country club and dominated the drag strip on weekends. Its wide stance and rear-wheel drive dynamics gave it a level of control that drivers appreciated deeply, especially in an age before traction control or electronic assists. The connection between man and machine felt pure and mechanical, a dialogue between power and precision. Dodge understood that success in the 1970s meant adaptation. As fuel prices rose and safety regulations tightened, the company refined the Monaco to balance strength with efficiency. The 1974 redesign marked a new era for the car, giving it a more squared-off body, improved safety bumpers, and enhanced comfort features. Though larger and heavier than before, it still retained its aggressive identity. Dodge engineers experimented with detuned engines to meet emission standards, but enthusiasts could still feel the heart of the muscle car beating beneath the hood. The Monaco refused to surrender its spirit, even as the automotive world around it began to soften. Dealers across the United States promoted the Monaco as a car that represented both class and capability. Advertisements often showed it gliding down wide highways or parked before modern homes, promising power without arrogance and sophistication without excess. The marketing captured the essence of Dodge's philosophy at the time, offering cars for people who valued authenticity and strength over glamour. The Monaco's balance between luxury and aggression made it a car for leaders, families, and dreamers alike. As the 1970s progressed, the Monaco continued to evolve, but it never lost its distinctive personality. Its reputation as a police car helped reinforce its aura of reliability and toughness. People respected it not just for its looks or speed, but because it was trusted by those who relied on performance under pressure. On American highways, a Monaco in the rearview mirror commanded respect, whether it carried a family or a badge. In the suburbs, the Monaco became a status symbol for middle-class families who wanted a slice of American luxury without stepping into the world of imported cars or overpriced domestic giants. Its large trunk, comfortable bench seats, and ability to devour miles effortlessly made it perfect for road trips, journeys that became a part of American identity. Families packed their belongings, filled the gas tank, and set off on endless summer adventures. The Monaco's cabin would echo with laughter, music, and the hum of the highway. It was more than steel and leather, it was the vessel of memories, a time machine rolling through the golden years of the American dream. Every generation of the Monaco reflected the cultural pulse of its time. The early models spoke of power and pride, while the later versions adapted to practicality and refinement. Yet the soul remained intact, a combination of muscle and majesty. Even when Dodge introduced smaller models to cope with the changing market, the Monaco continued to represent the peak of what the brand could achieve when luxury and performance met in perfect harmony. By the mid-1970s, as gas prices soared and emission rules tightened further, many large American sedans began to fade. The Monaco, though burdened by these changes, still carried itself with dignity. Its drivers knew that beneath the surface of compliance and compromise, there remained a heartbeat of rebellion. Every press of the accelerator was a reminder of what American engineering once stood for: freedom, power, and individuality. As the 1970s drew to a close, the Dodge Monaco found itself at a crossroads, much like the American auto industry itself. The same characteristics that had once defined it, size, power, and presence, were now being questioned in a world increasingly aware of fuel efficiency and practicality. Yet, even as consumer preferences began to shift toward smaller, more economical vehicles, the Monaco remained steadfast in its identity. It was the last of a dying breed, a final salute to an era when cars were not just machines but extensions of personality and power. The great steel-bodied sedans of the decade were fading, but they were doing so with unmistakable dignity, and none more so than the Monaco. In its later years, Dodge sought to modernize the Monaco without erasing its soul. Engineers faced the challenge of meeting new federal safety and emissions regulations while preserving performance and comfort. The once thunderous V8s were detuned, their compression ratios lowered, their roar softened by catalytic converters and quieter exhaust systems. The result was a car that still looked powerful but had to restrain itself, a muscle car forced to act civilized. For many enthusiasts, it was bittersweet. The Monaco still carried the spirit of freedom, but it had been tamed by the realities of a changing world. Despite these compromises, the Dodge Monaco of the late 1970s remained a formidable presence on the road. Its wide stance and heavy frame provided a ride quality that smaller cars could not match. The suspension soaked up imperfections effortlessly, and its steering, though not as precise as European imports, had a reassuring weight to it that made drivers feel in control. Even at highway speeds, the Monaco floated over the asphalt like a ship over calm water. Inside, Dodge had refined the experience even further: plusher seats, better insulation, improved sound systems, and optional luxury packages that brought it closer to Chrysler's own high-end offerings. The 1977 and 1978 models represented the culmination of Dodge's full-size philosophy. These cars were big, bold, and unapologetically American. They were machines designed for comfort over corners, for cruising over competition. The Monaco wasn't meant to dart through tight city streets, it was built for the open road, for the long stretch of highway under an endless sky. Its character appealed to those who valued stability and presence, a car that didn't just drive, but announced itself wherever it went. It was during this period that the Monaco's reputation as a police car reached legendary status. Law enforcement agencies across the United States had come to trust the model for its power, reliability, and sheer endurance. The Pursuit versions of the Monaco were specially tuned, with upgraded transmissions, brakes, and suspension components designed to handle the rigors of police work. The 440 V8 in these cars was a beast that could chase down almost anything on the road. In many states, the sight of a white or black and white Monaco with a light bar on top was enough to make drivers instinctively check their speed. Officers often spoke of the car with respect. It could take punishment, endure long hours, and still deliver when it mattered. The cultural imprint of the Monaco extended far beyond the highways and police departments. It became an inseparable part of American cinema and television. Shows like Chips and the Dukes of Hazzard featured Monacos as the quintessential police cruiser, fast, authoritative, and slightly intimidating. But nothing would define its legacy quite like the Blues Brothers in 1980. By the time that film hit theaters, the Monaco had already been discontinued, yet its role as the Bluesmobile immortalized it for generations to come. The film's car, a retired Illinois police vehicle, was described by Elwood Blues as having a cop motor, a 440 cubic inch plant, cop tires, cop suspensions, cop shocks. It was, in every sense, a love letter to the Monaco's reputation. Through chaos, comedy, and sheer destruction, the car became a cinematic legend, a battered yet unbreakable symbol of American resilience. Even in the real world, retired police Monacos found second lives in the hands of enthusiasts. Many were sold at auctions, rebuilt, or modified for drag racing. The strong chassis and spacious engine bay made them ideal for custom projects. Mechanics admired their straightforward engineering, robust, accessible, and built to last. In garages across the country, Monacos were reborn, their engines tuned and bodies restored to their former glory. Owners often spoke with nostalgia about the rumble of their V8s, the feel of the steering wheel vibrating with power, and the unmistakable sensation of driving a true American machine. By 1978, however, the end had arrived. Dodge replaced the Monaco with smaller, more efficient models like the St. Regis and, later, the Diplomat. The name itself would make a brief return in the 1990s, but the spirit was never quite the same. The original Monaco belonged to a time when America's highways were wide open, gas was cheap, and design was guided by ambition rather than restraint. Its disappearance marked the end of an era, the twilight of the big American sedan. Yet, the Monaco never truly vanished. Decades later, car shows and classic gatherings still celebrate its legacy. Collectors proudly display restored models, their chrome gleaming under the sun, their engines idling with that deep, unmistakable growl. Some are restored to factory perfection, while others are customized into restomods that blend modern technology with vintage style. Each Monaco on display tells a story, not just of engineering and design, but of a time when cars represented more than practicality. They were expressions of freedom, individuality, and craftsmanship. Driving a Dodge Monaco today is an experience few modern vehicles can replicate. It's not just about speed or handling, it's about presence. The car commands the road in a way that smaller, more efficient models never could. The view over the long hood, the echo of the V8, the weight of the steering, it all combines into something primal and deeply satisfying. It's a reminder of when driving was an event, not a routine. Every journey in a Monaco feels cinematic, a return to an age when the open road was America's greatest symbol of possibility. The car's design remains timeless in its own rugged way. The crisp lines, generous chrome accents, and monumental proportions capture the essence of 1970s aesthetics. It's bold without being excessive, confident without needing validation. Modern automotive design, with its aerodynamic constraints and digital precision, rarely achieves the same kind of emotional impact. The Monaco was a sculpture of motion, a monument to an era that dared to dream big. Beyond its mechanical and aesthetic appeal, the Dodge Monaco stands as a reflection of the American psyche during a pivotal decade. It emerged at a time when optimism still lingered from the post-war boom, when technology and industry symbolized progress. But as the decade unfolded, with oil crises, inflation, and social change, the Monaco became a reminder of simpler aspirations. It was a car built to conquer distance, to take families, officers, and dreamers wherever they needed to go. Its decline mirrored the broader challenges of the nation, yet its memory endured because it represented something pure and powerful, the unfiltered joy of the open road. In the years that followed, Dodge would attempt to recapture the magic of the Monaco's era through new models, some sporty, others luxurious, but none carried the same mystique. The Charger, which had shared platforms with the Monaco, would later be reborn as a modern muscle car, paying homage to that legacy. Still, among collectors and enthusiasts, the Monaco holds a special place. It is remembered not for being the fastest or most expensive, but for being honest. It was a car that delivered on its promise, a car that could serve as a family vehicle, a pursuit car, or a film star, all without losing its integrity. Today, when one encounters a Dodge Monaco on the road or at a classic car meet, it draws attention not through nostalgia alone, but through admiration. It represents a philosophy of design and engineering that has largely disappeared. It speaks of a time when steel and style ruled over computers and efficiency, when power was measured by displacement, not software. Its survival into the modern age is a testament to the quality and care with which it was built. The sound of a Monaco's V8 still resonates like a heartbeat from the past. It's deep, steady, and full of soul, a reminder that cars once had character beyond mere transportation. To sit behind its wheel is to be transported back to an America that valued craftsmanship and confidence. The faint scent of aged leather, the glint of chrome under the sunlight, the rumble beneath one's feet, all these sensations combine to create something truly irreplaceable. For enthusiasts, restoring a Monaco is more than a hobby, it's a form of preservation. Each bolt, panel, and stripe is a piece of history. They rebuild these machines not out of necessity, but out of respect for what they represent. The Monaco's continued existence in garages and museums across the world ensures that its story will never fade. It remains a symbol of defiance against conformity, a rolling tribute to the art of the automobile. In the grand timeline of American cars, the Dodge Monaco occupies a space that bridges power and prestige. It stood tall between muscle cars and luxury sedans, merging the two worlds in a way that few models ever achieved. It offered the thrill of acceleration with the comfort of a living room and the elegance of fine craftsmanship. Whether roaring down the interstate or cruising through city lights, the Monaco made its presence known. To call it merely a car would be an understatement. The Dodge Monaco was a statement, a declaration of what America could build when passion met engineering. It was the embodiment of movement, freedom, and individuality. Its story is not just about horsepower or design, but about the people who drove it, the moments it witnessed, and the legacy it left behind. Decades after the last Monaco rolled off the assembly line, its name still evokes respect among car lovers, historians, and dreamers alike. Even as the automotive world continues to evolve toward electric propulsion and autonomous systems, the Monaco remains a reminder of the human connection to the machine. It was a car that demanded involvement, attention, and appreciation. To drive it was to feel alive, to be part of a mechanical symphony that celebrated motion itself. Its spirit endures in every rumbling engine, in every polished chrome bumper, and in every highway that stretches beyond the horizon. The Dodge Monaco may have ruled the roads of the 1970s, but its reign extends far beyond that decade. It continues to live in stories, films, and the memories of those who were lucky enough to experience it firsthand. It was not just transportation, it was an experience, a feeling, a heartbeat of an age that believed in power, elegance, and freedom. And though the world has changed, the legend of the Monaco remains unshaken, echoing through time as a tribute to one of the greatest eras in automotive history.